How does it feel to be here at London for the Comic-Con? Are you enjoying it so far?
Well, so far it's been amazing, but I've been here for about 5 minutes, so that's, but I just love being in London anyway. It's just a great thing, and I love the people, so it's fantastic. I married a Brit, so.
We're sorry in advance.
So what have you enjoyed most about the last season of Once Upon a Time?
Well, getting to do this arc as Ursula is, it's just been unbelievable. And to work with Victoria Smurfit and Kristen Bauer. The whole group has been, everybody at Once Upon a Time, it's a really amazing team. And they work hard. They make like a movie in 10 days, But particularly because I got to work with these girls so closely. They're so brave and funny and smart, and we just had, it was like the supernatural Charlie's Angels. We just had a ball.
What was it like going in and just essentially just messing everything up for all the other major characters?
Oh gosh, there's nothing like it, like getting to go in there and just cause havoc, But when we started, we were all really tentative because these are iconic characters, and you don't want to mess it up, And I know that Kristen didn't watch Maleficent, and Vic just kept looking to the cartoon, and I was trying to match the voice, because obviously I'm not like overweight and purple and with tentacles, but just trying to find out like what it is about me that I can bring to this to make it like my own. And we had a wonderful director, John Emile, who's also British, and he really helped us set the tone to find these gals. And Vic and I got to do a lot of stuff together, which was amazing, and we sort of found our own little vibrational Starsky and Hutch kind of back and forth, which I think the fans really responded to.
Can I ask what attracted you to this world, that you saw it and it's like, oh, I have to do this?
Well, they called and asked, so that's always the first thing of like, what? But like the idea, like, me? Really? You want me for this? It's like the most exciting thing to be a part of something that's this, to be asked to do such an iconic character, but also to be a part of this incredible world that is Once Upon a Time. It's so well crafted, it's so well thought out, and it's just a lot of fun. So you jump at that chance. You say, yes, please, when, how soon can I get there? What do you need, and what can I do? And can I, color my hair blonde, and like, what do you need from me? So, that is, I'm not at that point at which that I get to like go, oh, which role in the world do I want to do? Like, I don't have that like luxury, but when somebody calls and asks you to do something like this, you thank your lucky stars.
So no doubts then?
No, it's no doubts about like wanting to do it. There's doubt in like, what am I doing? How do I do it? Not can I do it? How do I do it? And in fact, the first episode that we did do, we shot a scene, or a couple scenes in this episode that was the winter finale break with a director named Ralph Hammaker, who's lovely. But they were already in the middle of doing all this stuff, and like we were flown in to like just start in this big scene. So there wasn't a lot of time to like sort of like figure out what was happening. So at first like we come in and I'm throw this first of all I had to learn how to throw tentacles from my pelvis, which aren't there, and that are CGI, and get Belle around the neck, and I kept wanting to use my hands, because when you fight, you want to like put your dukes up in there, like, put your hands down, like those aren't your tentacles, and it's like right, so like if you literally watch that first scene, there's like I'm like fighting, pulling my hands up, so it's how to do it, and then once you got in the groove of figuring out like how to throw a tentacle, as you do, on a, so.
I mean, obviously, Disney's full of iconic heroes, but I think for most people, Ursula remains the most scary villain, the one that kind of resonates. Do you have early memories of watching the cartoon and kind of that affecting you in any way?
Well, I think I was a little older than a kid when that movie came out, but so it didn't scare me as much as I think it. Like when I first watched it with my daughter, she was terrified. Like we couldn't get past that. We had to stop at that and turn it off. And then like slowly we've gotten, back to it. And then my little one won't even go on the ride at Disneyland. Like that's it. Like forget it. Ursula like terrifies her. I didn't really think that, I didn't realize how scary, but I think because she's really a monster, and one of the things that they always say in Once Upon a Time, that like evil isn't born, it's made. And which I loved about my whole backstory on I don't know if you guys have gotten it here yet, but how I became, but I chose to be a monster, not just this Victoria's still a woman. There's still a person in there. I think the way they told the story, she's much scarier than I am. But to be a creature is really, I think that's what makes her so scary. That she's a beast, and so fierce and not afraid to just kill. And I think that you don't see that so readily. The other villains are more wicked and manipulative, and they cast spells. Mine's just I'll get you. And I think that's what's so scary, is that I'll just get you.
I mean, you said that, obviously your kids are scared of Ursula. How do they feel about the fact that Mummy is Ursula? Yeah,
well, it took a minute. My older one is, I would FaceTime. I'd call them on the, computer, and if I was in character, I didn't have the tentacles because those are CGI, but if I had, just in the makeup, because the makeup is so incredible, and the hair, and and the little one would just be like, "That's still you, right? You're still in there." And I said, "Yeah, it's still mommy. It's just mommy," But the funny thing was, the little one would love to watch it, and the older one was like, "I'm good. I gotta go do anything but watch this right now because it's just too much."
What do you like to see happening going ahead for Ursula now?
Well, sadly, Ursula got her happy ending. Sorry to spoiler in England.
Yeah, you got your voice back.
I did. I got my voice back. So, but the good news about Once Upon a Time is that nobody dies, and nobody stays happy for too long. So hopefully, I'll be able to resurface in that world.
What would you like to see if you do come back to the show? What would you like to happen?
I just would like to be utilized as a way that, when they need something, handled, like she's like the fixer, she's the town fixer, whether it's for good or for ill, you call on her for, I think that would be kind of fun to just be of service to Gold or the good people. I beg your pardon?
Has there been any talks for you to return next season?
Well, they were so busy wrapping up the end of the season, they haven't yet figured out what the storyline is next for the next year. But like I said, they brought Zelina back, from Oz, and you just never know. You never know.
Your character originally started off as a mermaid and then became a tentacled monster.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to see your character revert back to being a mermaid or staying as a tentacled creature? I
think tentacled creature, because then you can do more things, like mermaid, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's pretty and whatever, but my tentacled beast she can take care of stuff. She can reach things. She can slap people. It's good. Who doesn't want that skill?
Obviously, the fans of Once Upon a Time are very prolific on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. How different do you think the characters in Once Upon a Time would be if they had access to social media while they were trying to do their deeds?
Oh my God! Wow, that's a good one. I think that the villains would run it, because they'd be able to cully a nice audience of supporters, because everybody likes a bad guy. I think the heroes would be too busy battling for good to get their way to make it to spend time on social media, unless they're like, we lost him again, we can't find Henry, call out the armed guards.
How do you think the character adjusted to working in an aquarium for 20 years?
Oh, she didn't like that at all, but those are her babies. We had a whole, some of it got cut, but in the first episode where I worked with John and the director, and he was like, those are your children, all those. I loved how they set that whole space up. It was just these are my children, and I get to be with them. So as much as she didn't like shoveling fish shit and all that sort of thing, she still got to be with her people, and it just made sense.
With the ties to Disney, have you got a particular favorite Disney film?
That's a good question. I love the Pixar. I love all the Disney Pixar films. In particular, the Toy Story series is just, I wept like a baby at that last, movie. I was holding hands with my sister, and they're holding hands, going that thing, and she's 45, and we're because we kind of grew up with that, to watch that whole journey. They're just, Disney knows how to pull the heartstrings, don't they? But those are especially wonderful.
Obviously you mentioned earlier on that there's a physicality to Ursula, but also the vocal performance, particularly in the original cartoon, is so iconic. Can you talk a little bit about how you found that aspect of the character?
Well, I think that for me, that was my, you got to find your way in. I always say, when I go in for a part, and that's the thing, that's good and bad about being offered something, is that you You're so unsettling with that mask on. It's freaking me out. I was like, what's happening?
Should see under the mask.
You know, when you go into audition for something, at least for me, I have to find if I know what that character wears, I know I feel really great about when I walk in. You know, I mean, like some things when you go in to play, like, you know, like a detective or, you know, like it's very plain, it's very simple, but there is sort of like everyone has their uniform, whether it's a mom or a, you know, it's like what kind of mom and like what kind of cop, you know, is it a beat cop, is it a detective? Like there is a way to walk in. What shoes are you wearing and what are you, you know, how, like for me, that's my way in. It's like putting on some sort of costume. And with Ursula, because, you know, it was, you know, I was asked to do it. I didn't know what, you know, and so it's like, what do you bring to this? How do you, you know, and the voice was the best way because I do have a low voice and I do have sort of that, you know, I can match that cadence, you know, that the voice actress whose name escapes me right now, but she's so incredible, you know. It's just this, that's what you can bring. That's what I could bring.
Now, there are particular lines that you really love saying in that voice.
God, you know, it's so funny. My daughter in the preschool, like all her friends were always like, "Do Ursula!" Like they want me to come up and like say something, you know. But yes, there was a particular line in the episode of my backstory where Hook and I are trying to get the seashell to work to bring my voice back, and I said, I don't even know if I can match it in the voice, but. I said, don't mess with a woman with 8 arms. Don't try and take on a woman with 8 arms, especially when you only have 1. You know, and it's just like, and then she bitch slaps him, and you just feel like such a tough guy. You know, it's always great to get like those great lines.
I mean, talking about tough characters, do you think that one of the secrets of the show's success is that so many of the strong characters, the most interesting characters, tend to be the girls?
Wow. Well, that, you know, is. You know, I think that when you look at Disney, all the interesting characters are women, you know, and for the most part in those, you know, Disney stories and the fairy tales, you know, it's that they're the protagonists and then they're the protagonists and they're also the villains. So you're already given that service, you know. But we're lucky on Once Upon a Time, you know, the writers are so, you know, Robert and I'm sorry. I was thinking about something else. They have created these beautiful women and these beautiful characters that are so fun to watch. And then you've got Lana and Ginny and, you know, Jennifer there who bring to life these, you know, they fill it, you know. But people love the villains the most. They love Robert. They love, who is not a woman, but they love Robert. They love, Lana. People like flip out, you know, if you say anything about Lana Parrilla, like they just fall apart because she's just this majestic creature, you know, and it's in life and in, you know, art. She is that. But I was happy to be a part of that, you know.
Obviously, they're always bringing lots of new great characters into the show. Who would you love to see brought into that world moving forward?
Wow, I mean, I feel like they've literally, you know, mined that, you know, well deep. So you're asking a very jet-lagged lady, a very, I would have to think about who, you know, but like, you know, I was surprised they were able to bring Ursula in there, you know, like in the way that they did. It's, you know, I just feel lucky.
How about Woody from Toy Story? That could be an interesting one.
It would be really interesting how, you know, and I don't know how they would do that. Oh my God, it's my partner in crime's here, my girlfriend. I love you. Come here. Don't make me do this by myself. Hello. Hello.
Do I get to join? Is
Oh my
that
God,
okay?
I literally was going to wear the white pants, and that would have been horrible.
That would have been, well, you know, it looks so similar as it is.
Here, I'll slide over.
Okay. Oh no, I can't take your fluffy mic.
We can share the fluffy mic.
We can share the fluffy mic. Hi guys.
Hello.
Morning.
Sorry about being late. Taxis.
Well, I tell you what, we'll kick you off with a really nice, easy one. Are you excited to be at the London Comic Con? Are you looking forward to the weekend?
Really excited to be here. Are you kidding? I get to buy hula hoops. I get to hang out. I get to wander through. I had great fun driving here actually and going through all the different spots. Remembering, I played a cop for 7 years in Trial and Retribution for Linda LaPlante, and just everywhere I could. Oh, I arrested someone there. Oh, I drove like a bat out of hell there. Oh, hang on, we had a corpse there. It was just. It was fun for me. Sadly, I'm slightly jagged because it's been a hell of a ride here, so forgive me. I need a coffee to settle.
Obviously, before you arrived, we were talking about why people love the show so much. What do you think the secret of the success of Once Upon a Time is? Why is it such a big hit?
I think the imagination and the fact that it can go anywhere, and the boys do that. They bring it. They can twist every story, and it makes perfect sense in an extraordinary way. And the magic of the fairy tales, but it's also based. Everybody tries to play it as real as they can, and the characters are fun and heartwarming and
even the villains
dodgy. Really, you get to be super evil, and we did.
Right, I was saying that because they're asking how Ursula is like the darkest creature,
Yes.
and I was like, you're really effed up,
Well,
for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
they give
she's
me no.
a psychopath, really.
Yeah.
Yes, a little bit small sociopathic issues, but who are you without some of those? But yeah, no, they did decide to make Cruella as dark and as irredeemable as possible.
Irredeemable,
so,
yeah.
And I loved that.
Why did you love it?
I loved that because I didn't have to be nice. It was fantastic. So, but it was a big call because a lot of the villains do get, you got your happy ending, and a lot of people do get to show the other side of them and why. Because I think they were originally talking about was evil born or made.
That's what I said.
And yeah, exactly. And I think Cruella was just born bad to the bone.
It's very rare. It's very rare to kill villains and characters in Once Upon a Time, and obviously your death had a huge impact on the rest of the season. What's it like being one of the only ones that have been offed, as it were?
Well, I can only assume I was extremely difficult on set.
Of course.
And they said, we just need to make sure she's really gone.
Did you know from the get-go your character was going to be killed, or was it something that
No,
revealed?
you never know what's going to happen episode to episode, which is kind of exciting. It leaves it sort of wide open if you're in an episode where you're not necessarily driving the story, but you're part of, say, the B or the C storyline, and you'll be doing things and you won't necessarily know where they're going to go or where they're going to lead, and you just throw yourself in good faith. And sometimes, I'd endlessly be building my part, adding in things that I was convinced that Mr. Gold was her true love, and I would be camping it up horribly. I'm like, oh darling.
You flirted with anybody and everybody.
I just decided Cruella was
a whore.
Warm for everyone's form.
Didn't really pan out, though, did it?
No, I know. That's what happens when you flirt with everybody. Lesson learned.
Your character, pardon the pun, ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. Is there any talks of you coming back next season?
Who knows?
As I said, nobody dies and nobody stays happy for
Well,
too
Cruella
long.
did.
No, that's true. That's true. You're only as dead or as happy as the creators decide you're going to be.
You know what? She's back.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, you get the call.
Yeah, exactly. Because Selena came back, didn't she? While we were there, so and anything's
And
possible.
Ariel came back.
Yeah, I wanted them in the episode after I died. The author and Gold were at my very poorly attended funeral. I was very upset about that. And I kept saying, I was texting Patrick, who plays the author, going, just rip open the coffin and see there's just a wig and just have like black and white fur disappearing in the background. So I can...
hit the reset button at the end of the season anyway. So I mean, with what the path they've set Emma on for next season, technically speaking, you could come back and
That's true, and be
working
good.
with Emma.
Yeah, we can be teaching her some moves.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, we've got some moves to show her.
You
So
both play villains, but it's kind of in the year of the superheroes. If you could play any superhero, who would you play and why?
ooh, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Just twirl.
I would maybe do Batman.
Oh, you'd be a
I
good
like
Batman.
I like the gadgets.
I'd be your
I'd be
Joker.
Black Man.
Yes. And I'll Joker.
Wasn't that like a 70s exploitation movie?
Coffee. Yeah.
Was there?
Coffee with the big afro. Like
I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You need to
Or
learn me.
Get Christy Love was this old, tiny old, like 6-episode 70s show called Get Christy Love, and it was like awfully awful, but it's fantastic.
Awful in a great way.
It's awful in a great way.
I wanna be in
yeah,
that.
Yeah, but she's more of a she's not a superhero.
No.
No, but
You're
Black
a
Man is a
superhero.
superhero.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, superheroes. So that's the plan. Yeah. There you go. You could really organise that.
Yeah, so right now.
Black Man and Wonder Woman.
Can you greenlight that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.